Satan's work in the human mind. We must understand, saints, sometimes, I know I don't know if you've had that experience. You're all of a sudden driving in the car and you get this crazy thought out of nowhere. It's like, where did that come from? But then you think it's your thought. That's the problem. Sometimes you're walking and then you just have this lustful thought, like, where did that come from? Yeah, it came from the enemy. He's launching his missiles, the fiery darts. We must realize that when that happens, that's the enemy's thought. We can think things true, but the enemy injects his thoughts. It's one of the things he does. And I'm going to show you scripture for that, right? I mentioned the fiery darts, Ephesians 6:16, the shield of faith which quenches the fiery darts, the missiles. So fiery darts, I'm using a more modern day application. You think of a dart, rather think of a missile. He's launched an attack and he's wanting to destroy you from within. You understand? And that's why he launches that missile, okay? So first of all, we must realize it's not my thought. There's a thought I have, see how that brother's looking at me. Look at that. All of a sudden I know. No. So Satan's trick, because he's the deceiver, he's known as the deceiver, a liar from the beginning. His power lies in his deception. If he cannot get it right to deceive you, his power is gone. Do you realize that? That's all it takes. Look how he deceived Eve. He made Eve think God is withholding something good. So I said, no, God, the day, he didn't just say you shall not die. He goes on to say, further injects that poison. He goes on to say, for God knows in the day that you eat of it. So Eve's immediately thinking God's withholding something good from me. And then she starts thinking in her mind, why would God do that? And before you know it, she's meditated on this thought and she's looking at the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And she's like, it actually looks good. Now, the problem is you don't want to look at that tree and start thinking it's good for food. That's the first problem. Sometimes we do that with our thoughts. We know we shouldn't touch, but we start looking at it as if it's food. Don't. Realize that's the tree that leads to all death, independence from God. Stay away from that tree. But Satan wants you to think, no, start looking at it, start admiring it. And so our thoughts start drifting off Christ. And we start thinking on this thing. And the enemy's missile has worked. But imagine if he's thrown that thought at you, you recognize it's the enemy, and you say, not today, Satan. I'm not going to take your thought. It stops there. And I take my thoughts to the obedience of Christ. Satan can't do anything. Guess what? Your marriage just got saved. I'm just saying. That's how hectic this is.